much. You know, I've been doing this for over 25 years myself, but it's just great. And I always, when they come out, I hear people going, and I do it back. But it's so nice to hear it in French, because you never, it's so different to hear it in French. And before we go any, you know, it's so different. I live in Los Angeles, but I am Canadian. I'm from Toronto originally, but just the whole, I know you mean that in the nicest way possible. They're not saying, for the people watching this in Toronto, they're not saying boo, they're going, ooh, that's wonderful, that's what they're saying. I think boo means ooh in French. Oh, but anyway, I have been traveling a lot. I was in the Bahamas. And has anybody been to the Bahamas? Oh, the Bahamas, you'll applaud. Toronto, you'll boo. But anyway. Right. But I was in the Bahamas, and I went, I saw everybody there. It was gorgeous, and everybody was scuba diving, and I decided to give it a try. And I don't know if you think that deserves a hand because I'm a Jew. And Jews and water sports, from our inception, from the beginning of time, we've never been big on water sports. I don't know if you remember the story. We were escaping for our lives. We wandered in a desert for 40 friggin' years. To escape, we got to the water. We wouldn't put our toe in it. No, wait, we'll wait for a miracle. Don't worry, it'll part, and then we'll walk. This is my impression of a Jew swimming. Come on, hurry, because it'll come back, and we'll get wet. You don't want to... So anyways, I said to the guy in the cabana, I said, I want to try the scuba diving thing, and he said, for $75, he gave me, I got tanks, and I got a weight belt, and I got flippers, and a mask, and tanks. I got the whole kit and caboodle, and I just saw all these people coming out of the ocean saying, wow, you've never seen anything more exotic. They don't put you in the ocean, you have to be certified. I didn't know that. 50 feet from me, everybody's coming out of the water saying they're beautiful fish. You know where I am? 50 feet away, I'm in the pool. They're looking at exotic fish, I'm looking at fat people from the waist down. And I had already bought fish food, so I'm swimming around just jamming it in everybody's butt. I was doing that. My wife frowns upon that if I stick my finger. She gets mad at me. She's mad at me here because, as I said, you people are beautiful. The Montreal, you have to see if you haven't been here, the Montreal people, you have style. I look at all the ladies. I love just hanging out on the street. And you know what? As a married guy, doesn't apply. That's like 6 guys and 4 lesbians applauding. But you know, as a married guy, I'm a happily married guy. I've been with my wife for 28 years, and I'm allowed to look, but you don't know you're allowed to look. I think we're idiots as guys. You're never comfortable with your wife knowing you're looking at other women. So what do? We try to, like they don't know. We try to cover our gawking by pretending like we're critiquing. You ever do that? Let's just say, what are you looking at? What am I looking at? Look at the breasts on her. I hate that, because they're so pert and up there. I don't like that, honey. Look, there's another pair. I hate that. I like yours because they hang and they're easy to get to. She loves when I say that. She gets really mad at me too. She gets mad at me in the mall. I'll go to the mall with her. You know what I do in the mall? I don't know if this doesn't look funny, but I'll walk in the mall. I'm walking in the mall, and then I do this, right? Which isn't that funny. What's funny is if you watch the person behind me, if I do this, and then the guy behind me will do that too. And he'll look at me like, boy, that was close. I'm glad it didn't hit us. I went out, I didn't know what to get. I bought a hat. I figured we're coming from Montreal, I wanted to look French. And I looked in the mirror before I came out. It doesn't look French. I look like a bad version of Monica Lewinsky. I don't even look. It doesn't look good. I don't think it looks good. But I get cold at night. I have a new haircut. No, you don't have to applaud. Don't applaud. It's not a big deal. Don't applaud. I was just shaving my ass and I got carried away. Once you start, you just can't stop. I'm not shaving my ass. I grew it out. I grew the hair on my ass out. Which is not because it's not like you can pick a style. No matter what, you always have to part it in the middle. But I didn't realize this. You want to know when I realized this? maybe it's not a good thing to talk about, but I'll tell you. The other night I was out with my wife. I'm just gonna gush for a second. She looked stunning. She was absolutely gorgeous, and we had the best time. And I just said, that's my wife. I was just so proud. And then I realized, I don't know if this is right, that night, you know, she was menstruating. She had her, no. Let me just tell this story for a second, okay? She was, and I thought, wow, you know, this is wow, because she's menstruating, yet she's out there, and she's dressed and having a good time and looking great. And I'm sure there's beautiful ladies here tonight, right now, who are having their period, but they're out here at a show just having a good time. Just by round of applause, who has their period? You don't want to say, but no, and this is what I thought of. You don't know how wonderful, we take this for granted, guys. If we were the ones who menstruated, if we were the race that menstruated, we would never go anywhere. There would be no nights out. You know that, no matter what you liked. You know, what do you like? If a friend called you for a beer, you know, Howie, you want to go for a beer? No. What do you mean no? My crotch is bleeding. I'm not going out. My crotch is bleeding. We wouldn't go anywhere. We wouldn't even get dressed. Who wants to put on pants when your crotch is bleeding? And ladies, if you got us out of the house, you would know our crotch was bleeding. Everywhere we went, we would be going, Thank you very much.